Tonight it's all about bringing a little light to a dark subject. The subject of, well, 40% ABV versus 46% ABV, the natural color non-chill filtered versus, well, color added and chill filtered. Does it really make a difference? Is it noticeable? Is maybe a 10-year-old versus a 12-year-old, is it such a big difference in taste? What about the prices? How much are we willing to pay for that ticking the boxes? So tonight I'm going to introduce you to a new friend in the bar. I'm a little bit of, well, it was a peer pressure. Let's leave it at that. So many people saw my latest video on duty-free shops all over the world. And this one was here in Frankfurt, duty-free. And well, go and have a look. I will put it at the end card. There is some amazing whiskies in the duty-free shop, Frankfurt, Germany. So have a look. Come back to me. Which one would you have picked? But a lot of people saw this one. And I'm talking about a 12-year-old Laphroaig. This is the travel edition. So if you're not traveling, well, maybe not so true, because I've seen quite a number of travel edition or travel exclusive whiskies ending up in shops as well. So have a look if you are a Laphroaig fan. Now, a lot of people reach out to me immediately. Pick this one. You have to buy this one. Now, the peer pressure kicked in, and of course, I had to buy it. What is the fuss about? Why are they telling me that I need to go for this one? The 46% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered. It is a Laphroaig, and well, the normal garden variety Laphroaig, the 10-year-old, and I have this one as well. The 10-year-old, this is 40% ABV, definitely not. Well, I don't think it's natural color. And of course, some chill filtration going on. So the idea for me to pick this one up, €62. So not a cheap bottle for a 12-year-old. At least at 46 made me a little bit happier. And of course, with the 10-year-old, I still get it for about 35, maybe a little bit more. So almost double the price. Is it so much better than the 10-year-old with no ticking any boxes? And of course, just to make it interesting, I am a sweet type of guy. Everybody thinks I'm sweet, and I also think I'm quite sweet. So I did also bring myself the 10-year-old Sherry Cask, but this is bottled at a decent 48% ABV. Have a look at this one. Colorwise, of course, it is Sherry Cask. And if I'm not, if I'm still not sure, I did bring something else as well. This is the Aerolite Lindsay. This is a lovely 10-year-old whiskey, also an Islay whiskey, bottled at also 46% ABV. So for a guy that not really interested, not really in love with the peated whiskies, I keep on buying it, and every time that I do say to myself, enough already, stop with the peated whiskey, I keep on going back and keep on buying more and more. Peer pressure is a terrible thing. This is going to be a fresh bottle, of course, only released in 2025. So not a lot of people have tried this one. So I'm excited that maybe I'll be one of, one of the few that has made a review on this one. So I'm looking forward to this. And I was hoping that all of those people telling me buy, I hope that you did not send me astray and buying something that I'm not going to enjoy. So I'm going to pour this one in this glass, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of time. It's, it rested in a cask for 12 years, squeezed into a bottle, and of course it needs a little bit of time just to breathe a little bit, to give a little bit of, time for that ugly volatiles, that peatiness, that stinkiness, they call it on this bottle, smoky, salty, fruity. Now, I'm not always sure about the salty note. I'm a sweet type of guy. Fruity notes, I love that one. It is exclusive to travelers. Not a lot of information. There is, of course, a little bit of a QR code for the people that want to have a quick look online. It does tell you there's no sugar in this one. And of course, I'm not pregnant, so I think I'm okay. And I'm not going to drive anyway. So just to start off with this 12-year-old, let me give it a quick nose. I'm not going to taste it now. I just need to put them all side by side to see which one smells the best for me. On the 12-year-old. Interesting. I did not expect that. There's a little bit of a tire note. The smokiness is there, but it's definitely not a powerful smoke, which is, I'm quite happy about that. There's a little bit of an iodine, a little bit of a TCP. That fruity note is definitely there. I get a hint of a peach note. Actually quite pleasant. Peaches. And maybe a little bit of an apple note. A hint of a raisins coming through. Now this is ex-bourbon, so there should not be a lot of sweetness in it. If I compare this to the 10-year-old 40% ABV, it will be quite interesting to see if I can smell the difference between a 40 and a 46%. Now the bottle is almost empty, so that can also play a little bit of a role. The 10-year-old for me, wow. It is so similar. Even that 40% versus the 46, you must be very good. I am probably not good enough, but if I put this blind in front of everybody, even with some agitation, there's not much in it. In fact, I am almost certain that most people will not even notice the difference between the two of them when we talk about the alcohol. The 40%, the 46% does feel a little bit livelier. It's a little bit, if you dial up the nose maybe by 5 or 10%, so you do get a little bit more fruit. Oh my word, they are so similar. Now, I would like you to make a comment. If you do a comparison, do you see a big difference? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not just trained enough. Maybe I'm not that connoisseur as I think I am. But nose-wise, very similar. Now, if I am going to add the sherry cask one, and just to give a little bit of a comparison. Maybe not the best comparison, not apples and apples, maybe apples and sherry cask. Now, the sherry cask one, completely different. And I know, I'm going to stop with this comparison, not going to add something else to it. The sherry cask is really nice, that sweetness that comes out, that little dried fruity note that comes out. For me, that is absolutely fantastic. A little bit of an oiliness. But I'm going to stick with the 12 and the 10. I know it's 2 years different. Nose-wise for me, there's not a big difference in it. And I think also because the 10-year-old is almost an empty bottle. So I think there will be even a little less alcohol in it. But nose-wise for me, quite similar. Taste-wise, I'm going to start off maybe with the 10-year-old and give it a small sip and to see if there's a difference. So cheers. Wow. Now, for somebody that are not a big fan of peated whiskies. Maybe it took me many years to start off with the Ardbeg 10-year-old, move my way around it. I got this Aerolite, Lindsay Aerolite. I got it as a gift, or as a present or something. Well, it was a competition and I won it and I got that prize. Loved it from the start. Same with some other ones from the Highland peated whiskey. Loved it. So it was a struggle for me to get into Laphroaig. And well, the struggle was real, but every time that I go back, especially if it's been in a bottle for some time, it's halfway, it does mellow out to something really nice. Now, my first taste of the 12-year-old, and I'm really looking forward to this one, and I hope all my friends and subscribers that told me you have to buy it, I hope you are correct. So, taste-wise, cheers. Oh, wow. Wow. Now, I think if you are into your journey of peated whiskey and you've enjoyed peated whiskey over the years and you've tried everything Highland peat and you go back to all this Laphroaig's, Ardbegs, Octomores. Oh, I love an Octomore. My wallet hates an Octomore. It's just too bloody expensive to buy a bottle nowadays. But coming back to this bottle of 12-year-old. And I must say, normally for these ones, you can see I just opened this bottle. Normally I wait for maybe about a quarter in and then I will do a review on it. And the first couple of shots is going to be, oh my word, it's a little bit harsh. It's in your face. It's jagged edges. It's not rounded. And I'm never impressed. But this one, I have to try again. Now, I don't know if it's just the 2 years, which I can appreciate the extra 2 years, but the sweetness of it is really nice. I didn't expect that. I did expect a little bit more of the smoke. Well, the older it gets, the less smoky it becomes, although they all start at the same, maybe 45 parts per million. So the older the whiskey gets, the less of that phenols you get in a glass. So I'm quite pleasantly surprised. It's sweet, it's lovely. That iodine is still there. That TCP hospital note is there. Some people call it Band-Aid. Well, I don't call it Band-Aid, but I know exactly what you are talking about. That saltiness, I have to try. Not really getting any saltiness, but I just took a little bit of a bigger sip now. And most definitely, that 46% is now showing through. On that smaller sip on the 10-year-old, let me just make sure, on the 10-year-old, definitely, taste-wise, you do get that extra 6% ABV. It does leave your mouth, maybe not with that stinginess, maybe it leaves your mouth with a little bit of a numbness if you take the 46% ABV. So in taste-wise for me, if you are really sit back, relax, and you take a deep breath, and you will pick up the difference between the 46% and the 40%. But only when you pick up a little bit more than that normal small sip, I did pick that up, a little bit of a numbness for it. But my word, it is a lovely whiskey. One more sip. Well, while we at it, and I contemplate my next couple of words coming out, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We are almost at 3,000 subscribers, and I need every ticking my boxes, ringing the bells, hyping, subscribing, all of those things. so that we can get to 3,000 subscribers. And of course, all of you guys that's still listening, that ad revenue will go to children in South Africa. So my dear friends, my final words on this one, putting that candle to the 40% and the 46% ABV, does it make a huge difference? I am not really convinced. I could taste the difference. ABV wise, you can feel that it's a little bit higher, but I think if you do it separate and somebody put a 46% in front of you and tomorrow the 40%, I'm not convinced you are going to pick that difference up. Side by side, completely different. Now, the question, 62 euros for this bottle, I say buy it. You are not going to be disappointed. If you want to add a little bit more, I think I paid about in the 70 euros for the Sherrywood. This beautiful whiskey, I did pay more for it. It is 48% ABV. So if you are into a sweeter whiskies, go for this one. Look at that lovely color. And that sherry is definitely there. That dark fruit is there. So it's about preferences. If you like ex-bourbon cask whiskey and you like ex-bourbon with a peated note, I would definitely go for that 12-year-old just to experience it. I know there's cask strength. I do not have a cask strength one. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to buy one soon. But for me, both are really a nice whiskey. So with that inconsistency and not really picking a real winner, I think that 46% not going to make a big difference for anybody. But if you have that extra money and you're willing to try it, go for the 12-year-old. So thank you very much for watching. And of course, please remember to like, share and subscribe. And I see you next time. Cheers.